Hello, I have an interview scheduled. Could you help me check in? The HR representative glanced at him and said coldly, "I'm sorry, sir. Your resume doesn't meet our requirements." One sentence shattered everything he had been hoping for. His name was John. He had graduated a year ago and had been unemployed ever since. That interview was the fifth rejection he received that day. He walked down the street with slumped shoulders, feeling completely drained. Suddenly ahead of him, an elderly man using a cane slipped and fell hard onto the side of the road. People walked around him. Someone shouted impatiently, "Hey, old man, move away! Don't get my new shoes dirty!" Without thinking, John rushed over, helped the old man up, and asked softly, "Sir, are you okay? Do you need me to take you to the hospital?" The old man rubbed his ankle, forced a small smile, and said, "It's all right, just a minor injury. Thank you, kid." John helped him sit on a nearby bench, made sure he was okay, then quietly walked away. A few days later, John sat in his tiny apartment, staring at his computer when his phone rang. Another company had invited him for an interview. He put on the cheap suit he had ironed over and over and walked into the interview room with one last bit of hope. The interviewer flipped through his resume and said flatly, "Your experience doesn't really match what we're looking for, and your salary expectation isn't realistic." John forced a smile, said thank you, grabbed his backpack, and left. As he reached the building entrance, a voice called out behind him, "Hey kid, you look really disappointed." John turned around and froze. Standing there was the same old man he had helped on the street, but this time he was wearing a perfectly tailored dark suit with two assistants standing beside him. John said awkwardly, "I'm looking for a job, but I was just rejected again." The old man smiled gently. "I remember you. You were the one who stopped to help me that day." He paused and said calmly, "You have a warm heart. You deserve respect." Turning to his assistant, he said, "Bring the interviewer to the conference room. I'd like to have a conversation about what real talent looks like." Moments later, the interviewer walked in nervously and froze when he saw John. The old man sat at the head of the table and said calmly, "My name is Henry Morgan. I'm one of the main investors in this company." He looked at John and continued, "This young man is someone I personally witnessed stop for a stranger." Then he turned to the interviewer. "You're allowed to say he lacks experience, but you don't get to dismiss his value with arrogance." The interviewer's face turned red as he apologized repeatedly. The old man turned back to John and smiled. "I happen to need an assistant right now. If you don't mind starting from the basics, would you be interested?" John's eyes filled with tears. He nodded firmly. "I would." The old man stood up, gently patted his shoulder, and said, "I've always believed that no good deed is forgotten. Sometimes it just takes a little time for the reward to reach the right person. If you believe that kindness is always repaid, leave a heart in the comment."